As the rumors grew louder and more intense, Mama Edi had no choice but to call Edi and examine her herself. With the instinct of a mother, she placed her hands on her daughter's stomach, and to her shock, she felt something like a growing fetus. She must have asked, who is responsible? And as expected, Edi denied it. Mama Edi bore the pain, the embarrassment, and the humiliation of the whispers about how she had failed as a mother. But what could she do? She couldn't throw her only helping hand out onto the street just because she was a child. Months passed, and the day came when Edi went into labor. At first, they rushed her to an herbalist and the local midwives, believing they would be more effective. The midwives prepared their herbs and remedies, feeding them to Edi. But despite all their efforts, she couldn't deliver. She was struggling between life and death. When it became clear that nothing was working, they had no choice but to take her to the hospital. At the hospital, the midwives delivered some devastating news. Edi had been consuming poisonous drugs in an attempt to terminate the pregnancy. She had received no prenatal care, no medical attention, nothing. It was Mama Vivian who had given her the drugs. Now, the doctors feared the worst. There was little hope that she would pull through. The nurses quickly got to work while Mama Edi stood by, praying for her daughter to survive. But despite their best efforts, Edi still couldn't give birth. One of the midwives, noticing Mama Edi's distress, advised her to ask Edi once more about the father. Maybe talking about it would help ease her pain. By her hospital bed, Mama Edi pleaded, who is responsible? Edi, please tell me who is responsible. Let me know how we can help you. Edi remained silent. Under pressure, she finally spoke. But it was a lie to protect herself from the truth. She told her mother that Wills had threatened to kill her if she ever revealed the pregnancy to anyone. But then, in a moment of weakness, she confessed something else. Wills had once locked her in a room and given her to another man to have his way with her. After hours of struggle, Edi finally gave birth. But just an hour later, tragedy struck. Edi and her newborn son journeyed to the land of no return. The cold hands of death snatched them both, mother and child, and as cruel fate would have it, the baby boy looked exactly like Bill's. Pain filled the air. The hospital was silent, but the weight of loss was deafening. If tears could bring back the dead, Mama Edi's cries would have revived her daughter. She wailed uncontrollably, unable to accept the bitter truth. People rushed to her side, but no words could console a mother who had just lost her child. She managed to pull herself together just enough to reach out to Wills and his family, but the line wouldn't connect. No response, nothing. No one knew where Wills was, and so, with the same unbearable pain, Edi was taken to the cemetery for burial. She was too young to be left in the mortuary, but the pain did not die with her. Mama Edi cursed. She rained curses upon the estate, upon whoever was responsible for her daughter's death, upon Wills, upon the generations to come. Soon, some men from Wills' family heard the news and came to pay their condolences, but it wasn't enough. It would never be enough. Papa Edi, who had been aware, returned only to hear the worst news of his life. Years passed, and while time healed some wounds, others remained buried deep within. Mama Edi had no choice but to return to her food business. Life had to go on. She had to survive. And Wills, he was heard to be married to a beautiful woman. He had a handsome young son. And the question remained, would Karma ever come to do its job? If yes, when?